The year 1963, U.S. President John F. Kennedy is assassinated in Dallas in an open-top car. At the March on Washington, civil rights activist Martin Luther King holds his most famous speech, "I Have a Dream." The desert epic Lawrence of Arabia, starring Peter O'Toole in the leading role, writes film history. And at the Turin Motor Show, the first Lamborghini is presented, the 350 GT. And the Lamborghini legend begins with the name. Chronicle of bullfighting in 1879. In the Cordoba arena, Bull resisted the toreros and survived despite 24 wounds. Its name, Murciélago. Lamborghini, each model bred with the power of the infuriated animal struggle. Always angry, always radical, and seemingly not of this world. Too fast, too powerful, and uncontrollable.
Lamborghini is a very exotic car, so I just associate it with speed, sinister power.
From the beginning, every Lamborghini is a dream creature, unattainably beautiful, unattainably expensive, and no model is ever built in large series. Many remain individual models. Of all cars, none has the aura of unavailability like a Lamborghini. The successful tractor builder Ferruccio Lamborghini, Star Taurus sign, loves fast cars, especially Ferraris. But then he makes a serious mistake, fortunately. He points shortcomings to Enzo Ferrari of his cars, but he throws these rudely back to Lamborghini.
So
Ferruccio was always dissatisfied with his competition car, and one day he met Enzo Ferrari. And then he discussed a bit with Enzo Ferrari. Enzo Ferrari then told him, "You are a tractor builder, you are a farmer, you are a tractor driver. You have nothing to complain about my beautiful Ferrari. You are a tractor driver and you are a farmer." And Ferruccio Lamborghini was really angry, and he told him, "I will start with my own car and you will see what a sports car should be like." The farmer and tractor driver converts offense into pride. So in 1963, from anger and vengeance, the Lamborghini 350 GTV is born, a unique model from which the 350 GT was developed, the beginning of a legend. Located at Sant'Agata Bolognese, only a short distance from Ferrari headquarters at Maranello, Lamborghini now builds the opposite the glamorous Ferrari elegance. Dangerous rockets with the furious fighting bull on the emblem to teach the Ferrari horse. And Lamborghini wanted to be exclusive with his car, and especially the weight. This is the first superleggera car that we built with aluminium body. And we made the very first car in red to annoy Ferrari. But Ferrari should not be angry only over the red paint, but also the superior technology.
It was the first car with independent suspension all around, while Ferrari and Maserati still had simple guided star axis at the back. It was the first car with 4 overhead camshafts, while Ferrari still only had 2 overhead camshafts. It already had disc brakes, while Ferrari still had drum brakes.
The Lamborghini Miura, a car like a drumbeat. With it, Lamborghini, the perfectionist, hit a second blow to the pride of the red Ferrari in 1966. The Miura revolutionized the sports car world. Until then, the most radical street car of all time and the first mid-engine supercar. Bertone's sorcerer apprentice Marcello Gandini dressed the Miura in exciting shapes that make the most of the 12-cylinder Lamborghini. The front-engine Ferraris suddenly then don't look quite so fresh. And if the Miura was not revolutionary enough, it also had the 12-cylinder mounted transversely. The Miura, like all Lamborghinis, was developed back then on the road. I started as a test driver with the last Miura we built. At that time, the test driver was very important for the development of the technology. Test drive with 350 horsepower and a top speed of 274 kilometers per hour. The Miura drives at 170 kilometers from Milan to Modena in 38 minutes. Average speed 268 on public roads. The Miura is a successful racer. Ferruccio Lamborghini initially wants to build only 50 models. In the end, it was more than 700. In 1968, the next sensation of visionary Ferruccio Lamborghini followed. The Espada, a bull for four, a sedan with racing genes.
The Espada is simply a car that, at almost 5 meters, carries 4 people with a 12-cylinder and a large luggage compartment, and the whole thing with a height of, I think, 1.16 meters, and it is a great packaging miracle. To date, it's like this. People are standing in front of you when you open the hood, thinking that you will never get it closed because the engine under it is so big.
The Espada is the first proper sports car for the whole family, and again, Ferrari has nothing equivalent to offer. In 1970, the 2+2-seater sports coupe Caramba is Ferruccio Lamborghini's favorite car. He appreciates the comfort of the 12-cylinder. The Countach, the ancestor of all Lamborghinis. No other car has become the epitome of speed more impressively than this thunderous wedge, another masterpiece by Bertone designer Gandini.
Marcello Gandini has really done the right thing. He has taken a completely different shape. He has made it totally extreme. He has created a car that is so fundamentally different from the Miura that everyone said, great, something is successful again.
Whoever sees the futuristic Countach once cannot forget it. Yeah, it's tight in here. It's like in a shoebox. When one looks to the front, this brace, this display panel, one feels like as if in a fighter jet. Tom Cruise and Top Gun say hello. Unbelievable how aggressive this car here roars low over the asphalt, in the truest sense of the word. On the road, the Countach is behaving like a bull in bull riding. Headstrong, stubborn, unpredictable, but fascinating. The Countach is the most uncomfortable, unreliable and untransparent car that I know. In short, this car is actually totally impractical and unreasonable. But it is the most exciting thing you can drive on 4 wheels. In 1974, the Countach begins to fly like a UFO on the streets in the middle of the oil crisis. At that time, nobody expected the flat wedge would be built for a further 16 years, until the final 25th anniversary edition. Beginning of the 70s, and Lamborghini is in turmoil. Company boss Ferruccio sells the company, but production of the sports car continues. As successor to the Silhouette, in 1981, the Jalpa starts. With the Targa body, the Jalpa attacks the successful Ferrari 308 GTS, and as the small Lamborghini, it should guarantee, besides the Countach, increasing numbers and bring some money into the coffers. At the same time, the off-road community is Lamborghiniized with the LM002, the first monster SUV for rich desert shakes. With the Countach 12-cylinder, the LM002 is for a long time the fastest SUV. In 1987, Chrysler takes over the bankrupt luxury car maker, the first Italian-American product of Diablo, 1990, the fastest production sports car in the world.
And the Diablo was interesting, not because it was built in great numbers, but because it was also designed from the start as a four-wheel drive. That means Lamborghini, just as before, again broke new technical ground and simply offered a super sports car with all-wheel drive.
The Diablo is a jet for the road, whose sound alone must have made Ferraristi pray. I don't think you need a radio or a stereo or things like that. Here you have to have fun driving, gas, accelerate, slow down, take a corner. Music makes no sense. The music from the engine is the most important. Sports car fans from all over the world rave about the Diablo. Only Ferruccio Lamborghini is not terribly interested in the Super Flunder. It's a Chrysler, an American car. With the Diablo, Lamborghini even starts its own brand cup for racing millionaires in 1995. Like rival Ferrari, Lamborghini was also represented for some years in Formula One. But there, the mark with the bull only drove from behind. Much more successful are the Lamborghini 12 cylinders in the open seas. The Formula One of the seas, the powerboats powered by Lamborghini, won numerous world and European championships. The Murcielago, the rebirth of the Lamborghini legend, a flat, nasty monster in which every joint, evil appears to be present. The Murcielago is the wildest of all the wild bulls, the first fantastical creature from its marriage with Audi, which took over the reins at Lamborghini in 1998. Designed like a fighter plane, the Murcielago makes itself as streamlined as possible, sucking in the air passionately to increase the pressure by opening slots, so it does not fly away.
It just made an aesthetic statement. And we could again distance ourselves from the competition. And that was really the return of Lamborghini to the current format.
Lamborghini's design is grim engineering aesthetic, tilted with aerodynamic necessity to comply with the laws of gravity. All the dreams, visions, and models begin in the design department at Sant'Agata. The pressure on designers is great. They have to reinvent themselves with each new design while remaining true to the traditional Lamborghini lines.
This is an example of our design, something that we did that is now in our product range. As you can see, it's always aggressive and uncompromised. You can see that we are working always with very, very strong details as the engine bonnet or the air intakes in the side. And we are always working with carbon fiber on view and graphics. I mean, you can see that this is almost a dangerous image. We are communicating yellow, black, functional devices on view as radiators, air cooling systems, air intakes, air exhaust. This is our language.
In the Champions League of the supercar, you cannot afford any mistakes in design. With such small numbers, each loss is felt with the competition. So especially with drivers of the perennial rival Ferrari, they should bring innovative models, extravagance, and a separate image of the bull. A difficult task.
There are already differences that polarize the individual brands. However, I would not exclude that a Ferrari driver will be converted and sometimes a Lamborghini driver unconverted. Our clientele, just like those of Ferrari, always tend to want to have the latest, and in super sports car segment like this, there are only a few of them, and that is where the exchange will also take place in the future.
The Ribenton would certainly entice every Ferrari driver into the Lamborghini camp, but it was built only 22 times and costs 1.2 million euros.
It's a statement, design statement, but we will probably never see these cars on the road. It has become an object for a museum.
With a speed of 343 kilometers an hour, the Ribenton is probably the fastest museum object of all time. The Lamborghini Gallardo is much too good to be a city car. The open road is its home. The Gallardo is the Ducat bull for Lamborghini, incredibly powerful, but easy to handle and suitable for everyday use. The baby Lambo is nevertheless a true Lamborghini, inside and out, unmistakable and extreme.
It's simply a car with which you can drive for 12 months a year, drive with all-wheel drive in winter for skiing. This may sound bizarre, but it goes and it works. This resulted in these production numbers, which I believe are now at 11,000 or so.
If most of the dream cars are just high-powered toys for selected times, the Gallardo is a reliable driving machine for everyday use in any weather. The Gallardo is a top seller from the beginning. What is missing still is a convertible, and in 2005 it arrives, the Gallardo Spider.
So, the Gallardo is especially a lot of fun on the track, and because it provides such an incredibly nice feedback in the steering, and it is designed to really oversteer very nicely. And it is also still safe because of the ESP. Even if it is off, this engages as soon as you touch the brakes, and that's nicely done with the car. That you don't feel hemmed in the electronics when you make all sorts of moves with the car without having to brake or something.
The Gallardo is built for 10 years, and each year Lamborghini brings a new model out, getting more powerful and lighter all the time. Yeah, may I introduce Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera? And so that everyone understands, Gallardo Superleggera, super lightweight, and even more power. When test driver Valentino Balboni leaves Lamborghini in 2008, the Italians build a special series for him, a bull that bears his name, the Gallardo Valentino Balboni. The sixth element, the sesto elemento, no other Lamborghini embodies so much aura of unavailability. The sixth element is carbon, and carbon fiber is the key material for the sesto elemento. 999 kilo in weight. Acceleration to 100 in 2.5 seconds. Price, priceless. Every 10 years, and only every 10 years, Lamborghini presents a new 12-cylinder mid-engine masterpiece. Since 2011, the latest masterpiece is called Aventador. Aventador is a bull that barely reached the prescribed fighting weight and is characterized by exceptional bravery. The Lamborghini Aventador is 90 kilograms lighter than its predecessor. Its 700 horsepower in the back require brave pilots.
It's simply a rolling object that has underneath still 700 horsepower, and that there's a four-wheel drive in there as well, and that you give it a customization program as one wants himself. Then that's only an encore, so to speak.
The Aventador is a sculpture made of carbon fiber and aluminum. A cultivation of Countach, Ribenton, and Sesto Elemento, twice as wide as high, radically beautiful, radically fast, radically different. The cockpit seems to be reserved for Captain Future, the perfection of high tech. The Big Bang machine in the sports car universe costs more than 300,000 euros. But you can get a frantic energy density accelerating the pilot with 690 Newton meters within 2.9 seconds in a pleasurable embossed space-time continuum. The Aventador, again a Lamborghini that is apparently not from this world. Lamborghini, bred 50 years ago out of spite, anger, and revenge to Enzo Ferrari. And today's Lamborghinis are the proudest, most idiosyncratic and unspoiled creatures you can drive. Lamborghini fan Frank Sinatra once said, "If you want to be someone, you buy a Ferrari. If you are someone, you buy a Lamborghini."